What to put in the food plot in the spring? It's always the question. I've done a number of different things. Um, Corn, which is great for the deer, but I have so much deer pressure on the 1 acre that by the time gun hunting rolls around, there's really not a kernel left, and it's more work. I do not have a corn planter, so it is possible to plant corn without a corn planter, despite what people tell you. I just disc it up good, toss the seed by hand, and then just run a drag over it, and I had a beautiful plot of corn. But it's just more, it's more farming, more weed control work. I'll just cut to the chase. What I think is best is winter rye. It produces 7,000 pounds of dry forage per acre. So it produces more than almost all other cereal grains. When gun hunting comes, it's as green as can be, and it's the first thing to green up in the spring. But then you have to do something again the next year because it'll die off. So what am I going to do this year? Well, I had clover for a couple years now, and the way to get the best clover plot that I found, and most things you'll read, is to do winter rye in the fall, and then once that comes up, broadcast the clover. It germinates underneath the rye, and then the next year it's a beautiful clover plot. I'll maybe put a couple pictures in the video of what that looks like in the spring. Best way to get a clover plot. So that's been my go-to choices, just to not have to do farming every year. So now what am I doing this year? Well, I had clover, but it's been there a couple of years. The deer mow it down to nothing, and then the grass starts to take over. I'll show you some pictures of what my field looks like in the fall during gun hunting. It looks like I mowed it with a greens mower. I could put a few cups out there and practice putting. They literally obliterate it. So that's kind of what's happened. My clover is deteriorated. So all I'm going to do this spring is overseed with clover. Frost seed, actually, is what we're doing. We're frost seeding. It's March 29th. It's really all I can do this time of year is something of that nature. So it's still freezing at night, getting above freezing during the day. That'll work that clover seed into the ground. Will I have the best clover plot? Probably not. But I'll have deer out there all summer eating it because it's the grass. They eat the grasses, they eat the weeds, they eat the clover. And then because it's not an excellent clover plot, what I'll do is I'll probably kill it off in the middle of August and broadcast a bunch of winter rye. Not the most economical. Clovers, the 10-pound bag is $60, but winter rye is cheap. And then what I'll do late fall is once again seed clover into my rye, and then I'll have a good clover plot next year. I have tried planting nothing all summer and just keeping it basically dead, putting glyphosate on it. I don't know. It's nice because you don't have to till or anything, but I like having food in the summer. I just like seeing deer in the cameras. I like having deer around. And it didn't really work as well as I would thought because it rained so hard, even after killing it 3 times, that all the weeds came up anyway. And I did a video on, can you put glyphosate down and seed in the same day, because I had to. I came up to plant my winter rye, and it was just a mess. It was all weeds, so I sprayed it and seeded, and quite frankly, I got one of the best winter rye plots that I've ever had. So I'll probably do that the same way this fall, is just come up and spray middle of August, and then seed heavy with winter rye, and that'll work out well. Oh, there's a grouse in my backyard. ADD. So that's what I'll do. Kill it off, seed it, and you might ask why I'm doing it in the middle of August. That seems early in Wisconsin, I'm sure people think, but like I said, the deer pressure I have, they just hammer it. So when September 15th comes, I want it green. I want to be able to be out there on something that's already growing. And plus what I'll do, maybe like September 1st, is I'll put more seed down, and maybe even when I come up September 15th and hunt before I leave, I'll seed it again. So there's a lot of different growths of that winter rye coming up, and then I'll make a nice plot. So today what we're going to do is go out and overseed with the clover. If you want to follow me along, I'll take you out there, show you my plot, how it's shaped, how it looks. You can see how much the deer hammered it, and we'll check it out. This is what the clover looked like in the spring, following me overseeding it into the winter rye. One of the best clover plots I had. Once I just clipped the tops of that rye off when I mowed it, it was quite healthy looking. This is the year I did corn, came up just fine. This is my food plot during gun season. As you can see, they mow it down to nothing. Let's head out to the plot. Yeah, here's the field, approximately an acre. You'd think I mowed it with a greens mower, but I certainly didn't. There is a lot of deer pressure out here. They mow it right down to nothing. There's a scrape right up here. It's always in the same spot every year. And then branches here. Old Bucky has broken them all off. It's always nice to see. What's interesting is how many deer I see on that, even right now in the spring. Just a social area, they hang out, sniff the branches. Pretty cool to see. So, definitely a nice plot. Well, that wraps it up. The clover's down. In case you were wondering, that's a white Dutch clover that I used. It's worked out well. I just get it from the local feed mill in town. I forgot to mention the food plot choices that I did try. I've tried some of the mixes, various things came up, but I've shied away from those. I did try soybeans, and if you have a lot of deer and you've tried soybeans before, with a 1 acre food plot, it just doesn't work. it was kind of funny. I did beans. As soon as they got this tall and sprouted, I think it was 3 leaves, they ate every leaf off every stem. So my whole field was nothing but stems like this. So that was a quick learner for me. We're never doing beans. So like I said, won't be the best clover plot, but we'll get clover on it. We've had an early spring, as you know, in Wisconsin. It's chomping at the bit to get out here and do something. The deer are already out here using it, so that's good to see. They're eating what's left over from last year. So this fall we'll throw some winter rye on there, and it'll be nice and green for the archery season as well as into the gun season. So I hope you have good success with your food plots. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.